assignment in advance. All right, you
Yeah,
did your
yeah.
assignment in advance.
Yeah.
It's very impressive right now. Without any hesitations, EVOS Onyx versus Elevate, our first game for their matchup for tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I reckon it's really yeah, it's just really going to be important. We reiterated it time again already, so I'm not gonna reiterate it anymore. But the thing is, in terms of that prediction, I think if there's any team that Elevate could bring down, I think it could potentially be EVOS Onyx. Darkrai is a ban.
Ooh. Oh,
Interesting.
yeah.
That's just kind of a waste, no? But
Yeah, I feel
anyways,
like so, yeah.
moving forward, we have Miraidon as a priority here by EVOS Onyx that opens up the likes of Leafeon and even Urshifu. Prioritize these Pokemon. This could definitely be it. You still have Blissey and Clefable as well if they want to go for that supporter and just hide their attacker down the road for their second rotation and last rotation picks.
Oh, I'm actually quite concerned with Elevate. Why did they? I feel like they overlooked this one. So definitely that's a one free slot for EVOS Onyx. They really could take advantage of. But you know, I think it's actually a what do you call this one? It's actually one of the things that, you know, it's actually bad, and at the same time you just have to let it go. So
Yeah,
they just have to let it go off. You know, just have to
not
focus
hard.
on your draft at least. So interesting draft here. Mimikyu, Blissey, you know, could give a lot of heals, could give a little bit of crowd control, and isolation for the Mimikyu.
Yeah, and for now, the Snorlax or Shifu through for EVOS Onyx. Really strong so far. And then for the side of Elevate, they went for the Trevenant and 2 wide. This is what we're talking about in terms of these high priority picks. And so far, both these teams are going into more of a standard and a balanced type of team composition. Not really anything new, not really anything like very surprising. For the side of EVOS Onyx, very front to back type of situation. You have the Snorlax to set things up, or Shifu and Garchomp to follow through into that set plays, and then you have Miraidon as that backline damage. For the likes of Elevate, it will probably be Mimikyu and Trevenant to set things up to start off the fight, especially with Mimikyu's Unite move alongside with the Phantom Forest for Trevenant, and then Mewtwo Y and Leafeon are going to be the damage dealers. So that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's gonna be the storyline here. But the question is, can they actually safeguard those high damage blowing Pokemons here in the side of Elevate? Because I might tell you, that's also the same case here for EVOS Onyx. They have the Miraidon, they have the Urshifu, and they also have the Garchomp. All of them can actually deal a lot of damage. And when it comes to range, the Miraidon would be there. And when it comes to, you know, close team fight, team battles, it's gonna be the Urshifu and the Garchomp gonna be landing those ones.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see what the situations are we uphold here for Elevate versus the EVOS. But so far so good. I'm looking at the compositions. Both these teams are going in for a bit of a standard. In terms of the early game, I reckon Elevate has that opportunity to have that little bit of edge just because they have the Leafeon, they have the capability of just roaming around, they have the Mimikyu that's really strong, even at level 4. So that could be something that Elevate could bank on. But even then, even with that bit and minute advantage coming down into the early stage of the game, I don't think they're going to be hyper aggressive in the early matchup.
Yeah, because you really do have to be careful, especially doing hyper aggressive plays, because it has a high reward and at the same time high risk. That if you don't manage to convert those hyper aggressive gameplays, definitely you would suffer a lot of XPs. And knowing that EVOS Onyx here, on the other hand, have a lot of great investment towards the late game. Actually, you know, almost all of them has great investment on late game. So Elevate really has to play the hyper aggressive strategy very, very carefully here.
Yeah. So we'll see. So this is what we talk about in terms of early game. Elevate has a bit of advantage. Ooh, wow! I did not expect. Actually, Snorlax going for the Forest Invade.
Wow, it's actually very quick. Look at this. They're just trying to dismantle the rotation here. Quite phenomenal here for EVOs, making sure to buy a lot of time. And Leafeon will be here anytime soon, so potentially could go for the fight but Razor Leap is going to be the option here. If that was a Solar Blade, that could actually connect at a much more greater distance. But look at this Urshifu from EVOS. That's going to be the first knockout at least for the team. Tempa is going to be backing away a little bit here. And before that, you know, QR codes already on your screens. Make sure to scan it.
Yeah, for sure. And now you have Elevate also losing their mid. This is pretty unfortunate. EVOS Onyx goes in for that 4-man rotation on top. This is our expectation that Elevate has that better edge, right? But EVOS Onyx is changing things up. They're going in for that hyper-aggressive plays that really just shocks Elevate out of proportion at this stage of the game, which is really unfortunate because Miraidon as well is able to really just defend it. Trevenant has to buy time for a bit to reach that final evolution. And EVOS Onyx just capitalizing each and every single moment.
Yeah, they do have to capitalize this one. And Blank, look at that, super aggressive in order to knock out and potentially score some goals here. That's actually going to be a huge contribution here for the side of Elevate. And Junior Absent is just trying to search for some information for their team as of now.
Yeah. So now Elevate, what are you gonna do here? You have to have a slam already. Oh no, Blank's in danger. Still going for the Shadow Sneak. That was so close, but EVOS Onyx has a 3-man rotation on top side of the map that he cannot go for the all-in.
Yeah, cannot go for the all-in indeed, but right now, EVOS Onyx trying to apply some pressure here, all the way to the top path. They do want the Swablues and the Altarias later on, and they also want the Regieleki that's going to be spawning in 22 seconds here. But right now, Heavy Slam is going to connect here to create some distance, but look at that Razor Leaf, and oh my goodness, what a damage coming in from EVOS Onyx, doing a double knockout, and right now, they're going to be the ones to secure the goals. That's actually a triple knockout coming in from their team.
And now it's Elevate and EVOS Onyx, very point system, but not anymore as EVOS Onyx goes in for the dunk here when you remove the red top pad as Elevate has just to prioritize the Registeel instead. Well, EVOS Onyx just goes in for the handshake, went in for the Regieleki. You already have the guy by ready to waiting as well. Who's gonna take it down? It will be the Trevenant. Elevate takes it down.
Yeah, and right now they're going to be eyeing on the prize. Emerald 2-step is going to hit against Resort. And the Snorlax, on the other hand, has nowhere to go, has to back away in order to prevent from being knocked out immediately at the hands of Elevate. But EVOS Onyx so far has the lead in terms of scoring.
Yeah, definitely so. EVOS Onyx, just because they have the Regieleki that they were able to get, and you also had the tier 1 goals that they were able to dunk on onto the top side of the map. And so far, Elevate a little bit of a disparity in terms of goal point accumulation, but this far it's not that different. It's not that big of a difference. So they can still definitely come back.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, play with me to isolate the Garchomp here. Has to eject button immediately all the way from their goal zone. Well, look at that. Quick response, quick teamwork coming in from EVOS Onyx to turn the tides around.
That's really unfortunate because Leafeon was trying to go in for the dunk, and that was 30 points to consider, right? But unfortunately enough, EVOS Onyx was ready waiting. Goes on, the defense was phenomenal, and Leafeon was not able to go for it, and he dropped his energy points, so it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, very unfortunate,
It's really
right?
unfortunate, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is right now, so definitely have to be very careful on what's going to happen around your map, around the forest, so definitely have to check every single tall grasses here before you execute things down. But Junior Absent, on the other hand, is being pressured here by Kane. So definitely Kane has the damage to do so if he really wants to go for the knockout. But he's having, you know, a little bit of a feeling that a lot of members from Elevate are hiding in the tall grasses as well.
Yeah, but now EVOS Onyx has a massive lead already, especially considering when it comes to levels and XPs. You have Urshifu at level 11. In average, I believe, as for Elevate, in average, it would be probably like level 9. So that level difference and XP difference would put EVOS Onyx at a much better position compared to Elevate.
Yeah, right now Regi's already popped all the way into the bottom path. That's going to be the handshake once again. And right now, Elevate, what could be the next execution coming in from their team?
Now, EVOS Onyx, with them just going for it, they want to go aggressive, they want to find value, and you have the Unite move coming from you2. Why going for it with a huge amount of damage? Phantom Force, but a knock up with a Horn Leech as Snorlax goes down.
Oh, Bliss Assistance as well. That's gonna add a lot of shield here for the Trevenant, but the Livid Outrage from MLR and plus the eject button, they will back away for now. But the tier 1 Gozo was taken out immediately all the way to the top path, but the Dragon Rush would be there to rush things down. Tempest managed to keep it still up with the eject button, and EVOS Onyx trying to go for a knockout once again, but the block would be there to prevent everyone else from Elevate advance even further.
And that will be how like Elevate and EVOS Onyx will be battling this out back and forth, and the difference has now closed up with Elevate only being at an 11-point deficit up against EVOS Onyx this time around. So nevertheless, Elevate is still holding on into this matchup, and those plays coming in from Trevenant has been amazing for Elevate as well. Those Phantom Force, those Horn Leash, those isolated plays. We talked about this a while ago, and I think it's just really that important that you need or you get those isolated plays and get the numbers advantage as quickly as possible.
Yeah, and you have to be quick here and Elevate. You know, the scoreline, it's very much on par right now, but definitely they need to take down some points here. But on the other hand, Miva once again taking a knockout for their team. They really want to maximize and hyper prioritize everything else here. Try to go for some knockouts immediately for them to advance even further at a greater position. But Miva will be, or won't be scoring at least all the way into the top path. Great defense from Kane, but on the bottom side of the map, this is going to be a breakthrough fight for both teams. That Dragon Rush, it's gonna connect here, taking down Miva instead, the one who started everything in the top path.
Yeah, and now Leafeon is gone, and now Elevate could go in for the red rock. However, EVOS Onyx still has enough advantage. They have to respect the lead onto that fight. Now Mimikyu is gone as well. Elevate has just to retreat and pay the respects onto EVOS Onyx, taking down the red rock.
I'm not quite sure why Elevate was trying to force their way all the way from the objective all the way to the bottom path. They could have gotten a better position all the way from the Rayquaza's pit, and right now it's still EVOS Onyx leading the charge so far.
Yeah, and now the Rayquaza will be open as EVOS Onyx will start it up quite a bit, but Elevate is just readily waiting. They have to wait for Leafeon. They have to up. No isolated targets that will come through. Tempest already down low.
Down low indeed, but right now, Junior Absent is being blocked immediately by the Snorlax. Play with me is going to be pop-up as well to get a bit of Bliss assistance, but the Livid Outrage going to be available as well at the hands of EVOS Onyx. So his Meteorite is going to be falling down, and 3 members are already knocked out at the side of Elevate. It's just the Leafeon and the Mewtwo that's left here. They're just waiting for a perfect opportunity to take the Rayquaza for the prize, and Miva was blocked immediately. Can they take the last hit? No, they don't, as EVOS Onyx would secure the Rayquaza and eventually secure this game.
Yeah, and that will make sure that they get enough points, they get enough damage coming through. EVOS Onyx at a 200 or 100-point lead already coming down to it, and you have more coming through. EVOS Onyx, what a play that they have done on that final fight, getting those rushed in. It's really just phenomenal. Those methodical playstyle, just go front to back. That's pretty much it.
I'm not quite sure actually on I'm not quite sure why Elevate tried to contest the objective all the way to the bottom path, knowing that they could actually get a better spacing from the Rayquaza spin if they hyper prioritize the Rayquaza instead, in which, you know, kind of understandable. They want the buff for the team fight, but at the same time, if they don't get it, then what's next? EVOS is just gonna get the upper hand all the way from the Rayquaza spin, and that is just what happened a while ago. And Elevate, down by a game here, could go for the flip later on, but EVOS Onyx so far, they're doing very great in this series.
Oh yeah, for sure. They're doing really amazing. I mean, EVOS Onyx is still one of the well-recognized team as well. It's still very even in like the prior tournaments as well. They have foundational experience and they have huge amounts of knowledge here in Pokemon Unite. So both these teams are, I reckon, to be nearly in par with each other, but EVOS Onyx, in terms of their performance all throughout that series, all throughout that game number 1, was clean and collected, very methodical, is not really giving any risk towards Elevate to capitalize on in terms of taking down that opportunity. And if you're looking at a graph, it's EVOS Onyx all throughout the beginning and taking that huge lead.
Yeah, and it's just a massive game for EVOS Onyx, making sure that they punish Elevate later on into the late game, knowing that blocking out some pathways for Elevate for them to advance even further. So definitely, I feel like they have to respect that one actually, or it's either they respect or they get the Snorlax for their own hand. So I'm not gonna be quite sure what would be the game plan here for Elevate, but they really do have to be cautious by the Snorlax because the setup and everything from EVOS Onyx was just at the hands of the Snorlax, and everything was just a follow-up for their main damage dealers.
Yeah. So now, coming down into game number 2, we're now here. Picks and bans. Now Elevate went in for the purple side selection, and now going in for Rhydon as well. For EVOS Onyx, now they could prioritize the likes of the Umbreon if they want to go for that. That's really open. Or Shifu is still really strong. Mimikyu is also open for EVOS Onyx to pick up.
Yeah, but right now Snorlax is being hovered here by EVOS. One of the key factors, or actually the key factor for their victory on game number 1, they're going to be repeating the history here. They're going to be taking the Snorlax, same thing with the Garchomp.
Yeah. It's very interesting. Like, okay, there we go. Urshifu. I was like thinking, like, are they really going to give up Urshifu and also like, the likes of Mimikyu as well? But this is really good. Coming for the side of Elevate, they're going in for the Umbreon, they're going for the Urshifu. This is as expected as we could hope for the likes of Elevate to come through. Now for the side of EVOS Onyx. They already have Snorlax, they have Garchomp already, so they need that attack, they need that damage to really just sprung up their composition. And Mew definitely does have a lot of utility, but I'm thinking, like, is this going to be enough? I think they need one more damage dealer, may it be an all-rounder or a pure attacker.
Yeah, I feel like Cirillage would be a good setup here for the side of EVOS Onyx. Could be a central laner actually for their team, but oh my goodness, the signature of Elevate, it's gonna be the Sableye. This Sableye is actually full of surprises for Elevate, and actually for Blacklist as well. They actually love to utilize Sableye as well. So Sableye is one of the high risk, high reward Pokemons here, wherein you just have to annoy. You just have to be an annoying Pokemon to be specific, for you to ruin the goal setups, for you to ruin the setups as well coming in from the opposing team. So I feel like that is actually your main purpose here, to be specific.
Yeah, and I reckon it's just like Sableye is good in terms of that surprise factor, and I think that is one of the reasons why how Elevate has won in their prior series. If I remember correctly, it is one of those series that Sableye was being used, and it became really obnoxious to deal with in their opponents, to the point that it was respect banned in the next game that it was used by Elevate. So really, I think this would be a good thing for Elevate, just because it's just one of those comforts for this team.
Yeah, and this could be the bounce back from Elevate that everyone has been waiting for, especially for the Filipino fans who has been supporting them all out, because Elevate, they're one of the most formidable teams actually before, but right now it seems like they're having a tough time to stand in their footing, knowing that they are at the bottom of our leaderboards together with EVOS Onyx. So right now, whoever wins this game will definitely benefit a lot in terms of momentum.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll see whose momentum is gonna come through. Is it going to be EVOS Onyx, as currently all match point, 1 game away into taking the whole series down for themselves? Or is it going to be Elevate with a Sableye that can make a huge comeback?
Yeah, sure. I mean, this Sableye is going to be a huge factor to the point that Elevate could actually, just go for the Chaos Glower, send back everyone into the base, whoever gets caught on it. And same thing with, the Shadow Sneak that would actually, sneak in. And just like that, they're just going to ruin the rotation here, coming to the side of EVOS Onyx.
Yeah. So, in this early game, I reckon, like how EVOS Onyx went in for the Absol as well. I think that is a very thing to take note of in the composition of EVOS Onyx. Going for the Absol is a huge signal for them to go aggressive early game. And I think that is one of the expectations. If you're looking at the map right now, you have Absol already rotating, going in for the top pad, and this is already an expectation just because the Absol is present. Right, the one of the strongest early game Pokemon.
Yeah, and Absol really needs to dominate this early game, to be specific, because they might get caught on the setup of Junior absent later on, and that's going to be a really, really tough time for their team. Knowing that the hyper prioritization here from Elevate is, make this arena available as quick as they can, but right now they're going to be struggling a lot here. That Razor Leap not going to be connecting at least to go, or rather, actually that's the Razor Leap actually not going to be connecting into their favor. So definitely a good start for Elevate here, but EVOS Onyx so far trying to bounce back little by little.
Yeah, so we'll see. You have EVOS just going in for the elimination as well onto Sable Eye, going for the invade. It's really unfortunate because the thing is, like, Sable Eye, the reason why he's there is there's two things, right? It's to just confuse the opponent and just be like a menace in their own forest. And I think like EVOS Onyx just punished.
Yeah, I mean, because you have to punish and get a lot of XPs if that Sableye would just be lurking around all the way to the forest. I mean, that has to be your quick action item for you to gain the upper hand and make the advantage of Elevate become a disadvantage on their favor. So right now, Heavy Slam, it's just going to be connecting at least. But right now, 4 members from EVOS Onyx trying to eye on the prize here all the way into the bottom path.
So yeah, it's a little bit of that patience game alongside with just playing it methodically. And I think Junior absent later on would have a lot better impact than this early game. Cell level 5, more playing of that support role. Jinky.
Alright, Kane dealing a lot of damage, and Miva together with the Sableye. Junior absent is gonna get knocked out in this situation immediately, but Black on the other hand goes for the triple axle. 2 knockouts at least coming in. That's a very wonderful trade coming in from Elevate. They're not gonna be scoring the goals yet because Dragons is here for the response, but Lewis is focusing their attention all the way from the Altaria. So right now, this is going to be a total battle for the Regieleki.
Yeah, it is. Regieleki now being tested here. They want to take it down. You have Elevate and EVOS Onyx will be able to bring it towards themselves and seal it away from it.
It's actually very huge here. Right now. Oh, Queen's Ascendant's gonna be popped up as well, and that Eltica is gonna be taken down immediately out of the story. But they do have the Regieleki landed all the way into the top path, but not gonna be quite enough. Or actually, it is enough to take down the tier 1 goal zone. But there was a trade happening at the side of Elevate as well. But those are 2 goal zones at the hands of EVOS Onyx, taking down or bringing down a lot of pressure up against Elevate, and triple axle still gonna be landed by Blank. But 3 members from EVOS Onyx was there to knock him down.
Yeah, and EVOS Onyx now on a massive ready. I think consistently this is what has been happening, right? How EVOS Onyx has been playing very methodically, not allowing anything to be fed towards the side of Elevate. And I think that's really just amazing, right? Taking a lot of values for yourself, but not giving any value back.
Yeah, I mean, that's the toughest time that you could actually get, not being able to trade a lot of situations here. But look at that, EVOS Onyx, the Snorlax is actually pinched immediately by that, by the mean look. And right now, that's going to be the Urshifu charging even further. The Serena gonna be getting the knockout with that. The Queen's Ascendant was denied immediately, but the Midnight Splash, it's gonna be there, but not gonna be quite enough to take down some knockouts. And Elevate Unite is gonna be going in for the dunks that they need, but the Livid Outrage was there together with the backliner resorted. The Mew was able to trade the knockouts for their team.
Yeah, and now you have Elevate like slowly giving themselves back into a couple of points in, but EVOS Onyx still sustaining the lead that they have already. And this is what we mentioned a while ago. Having the Absol in top position really just gives you a lot of advantage in terms of damage output in the early matchup. But ALR in danger, no support, no follow-up, just buying enough time, but not gonna happen as Regieleki will be taken down by EVOS Onyx.
And that's going to be the trade that they want to happen. But right now, the bottom path objective is actually available as well. And that's going to be the defense coming in from the Regieleki all the way to the top path by the Urshifu. And no one from Elevate seems to be focusing their attention all the way from the objective. So Dragons here will be prioritizing that one. And this is not what I expect. I thought that they were going to go for the objective trade.
Yeah. And now Regirock being taken down by EVOS Onyx uncontested. Well, and I think at this point, they could just go in for the reset. Yeah, just going for the reset, going for the defense in the tier 2 go zone onto the top pad, and think that's pretty much it. Okay, in danger.
Ooh, that's a lot of damage. Absol taken down of the pitcher immediately. But that Snorlax will be blocking the pathway here. The power nap is going to be there to give a lot of HP for their team. But the Cotton Cloud Crash is also there from Dragons, being able to knock out with the assistance as well. Queen's Ascendant will be pop up as well, coming in from this arena, being able to take down the Mew in this situation. But Blank is struggling a little bit with the triple axle, being able to deploy a lot of damage, but at the same time not going to be able to secure a knockout for his own.
Yeah, and now it's Elevate who's back into the game here just because of that one initial engage. Keep just setting up those plays and just waiting patiently. And I think that's really fantastic. And that's the one of the factors, right? Having the Sable Eye, that surprise factor. Junior Absent, you really don't know where he's coming from. And I think that's one of the biggest aspects you want to capitalize there on forward, having the Sable Eye and having just strong damage output with the likes of Shifu in your competition.
Yeah, for sure. And right now, look at this. Elevate driving the bus here with a lead in terms of points. Definitely you have to maintain it as much as you can. That Regieleki is already available all the way to the top path. It would be a great diversion play if whoever secures this one, because 22 seconds on the clock. Rayquaza would be available, and right now EVOS Onyx would secure this one. Elevate has to choose between defense or let the Regieleki land on their favor. But right now, Solar Beam gonna be not gonna be connecting, at least here on the side of you. The Cotton Cloud Crash was already used immediately, so no more investments whatsoever at the side of the Eldegoss during the final stretch.
Yeah, and now Rayquaza now being started a little bit further there. EVOS Onyx now going forward into the top path. Jinky already down. Sable Eye bringing him out. Rayquaza. Oh, it's EVOS who takes it.
What a midnight slash coming in from EVOS Onyx, and one by one, everyone else is crumbling down. 3 members down in the hands of EVOS Onyx, and Elevate still has 3 members left. But Kane not going to be going in for the offense, at least go for the defense. They don't want Elevate to score the goals that they need. This would be a total defense coming in on their side. But look at who's sneaking all the way into the bottom path. That's going to be the Eldegoss sealing the lead once and for all. And EVOS Onyx just has to play defense.
Yeah. Now EVOS Onyx just going in for a little of that points. Junior Absent almost taking it down. 40. Mew, that was so close.
What a timing from Resort. The Electro Ball on point, not making sure that Junior Absent cannot land the points. And Kane was all the way onto the other side of the map as well, making sure that it would be harder for Elevate to catch up even further in this game.
And EVOS Onyx, 400 points already. I think with that Rayquaza objectives, they have secured it. They have secured the win already, and just going for those defense. If you're looking at the base, right, you have Snorlax to come through as well into that, into jumping around onto the tier 2 goal zone to play defensively, and that's pretty much like what they have to do for the foreseeable future in 20 seconds time to really just finish and secure the win.
Wow, what a math game. What a mind games coming in from EVOS Onyx. It seems like Kane was computing the maximum amount of damage with the Midnight Slash in order for them to secure the Rayquaza. And not just him. Every single members from EVOS Onyx really invested a lot of moves on the Rayquaza, just like what Elevate did. And it's just a matter of fact that whoever has the better luck gets the last hit in this game, and that's gonna be EVOS Onyx taking down the Rayquaza, taking down the game, and taking this series home.
Yeah. You know what? The only time I went to have like a same prediction as you, we both lost. But it's fine. It's fine. Like EVOS Onyx, they really need this to be able to come through and go above in the leaderboard. So with that said, with the 3-4, I believe they're now sitting at top 7 position, and then Blacklist International goes down top 9.
Oh yeah, I mean that's gonna be tough for Blacklist right now. They're currently 2-3.